Yo, what is going on,
Yo.
everybody? Welcome back to another Versus episode. Today I am joined by a great person I found on YouTube. He does content creation over there, mostly PlayStation talk. He is also the host of the RGT podcast, which is Real Gamer Talk podcast. He used to be a freelance writer for IGN. He writes for Lords of Gaming. Today I'm joined by BitCloud Gaming.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Doing good. Thank you for coming. Do you
No
want to talk
problem.
about your podcast at all for a little bit here?
Oh yeah, I mean RGT. It's a podcast we do on Fridays around 5 p.m. Ironically, we might move that to 7 or 6. I'm not really sure. We're my panel's been like on my neck about like can we move the times up? I'm like, we might. I don't know, but that's what we do on Fridays. We talk about everything. We cover the industry. We also interview a lot of people within the industry. We've had a lot of well-known voice actors on the show. A few particular big figures in here. One particular one we were going to have on it, but we couldn't get him on here because of some hiccup on my end. But it was Jack Tretton as one, so we almost had him on. But again, we have a lot of people planned, but that's what we do on that particular show. And of course, I co-host another show. I co-host slash, I'm a side, I guess you can say, producer for Solidcast, another show we do there. And yeah, the IGN situation, I did that. I was a video producer with them for a little bit time. We did the full guide for GTA San Andreas, the remake, not remake, well, the remastered, I guess you can say that's what that was. And yeah, if you want to call it that.
Whatever you want to call
it. I don't know what the hell they were thinking that, but that's what we did there. That was a pain by itself. And
yes.
Yeah, and other than that, I write for lordsgaming.net.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. It is a pleasure, as always, to talk to someone new, trying to get this Versus thing going. For those of you who aren't familiar with Versus, it is going to be BitCloud Gaming talking about his top 5 boss fights of all time and why they are his favorite boss fights of all time. But before we jump into that, I want to try to do something a little different, try to get the inside. I talk to a lot of people. Obviously, this is a gaming podcast, so I talk to a lot of people in the gaming space. But I want to do a fun icebreaker, putting you on the spot. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time?
Yes.
Oh man, there's so many.
It's a tough question. I hate this question whenever it's brought up. It always I always want to go something, and then I'm like, no.
See, usually it's easier when they put the genres in. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what's your favorite horror? But
that's true.
Of all time, that's. I'll throw it up here because honestly, I can watch this movie any day of the week. It's so quotable. It's one of my all-time favorites. I say The Fifth Element.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, I'll definitely go with The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element is
Love
a
sci-fi.
Can't go wrong with any sci-fi movie. Since you brought up horror, I'll ask you that as well. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Oh yeah, dude. That's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh, okay. Going classic. Going with the OG.
Absolutely.
Not the remake. Not.
No. That don't exist. And Jackie did okay. I thought Jackie was okay as Freddy. I just thought the script was cringe and terrible.
Yes.
What they were doing with that film. The plot was terrible too.
Yes, I agree. Not that great. Well, right on. Cool. So get a little insight there. So now we know what your favorite movie is and your favorite horror movie. So without further ado, I say we'll just jump right into this. What is your fifth favorite boss favorite boss fight of all time?
Fifth favorite boss fight. I'm gonna go with Bloodborne for this. A lot of these are actually gonna be tied to Bloodborne, for sure.
A little Bloodborne special.
Oh yeah, I love Bloodborne. That was one of my favorite games of all time. But fifth favorite boss fight, I'm gonna throw probably what's his name on that list. I'm gonna throw Vicar Amelia from Bloodborne at number 5. Why? Because not only that, the lore behind her character was really interesting. I thought, okay, is she just like a troubled woman, right? That's being harassed by a spirit, but you find out she's not. she's like damned based on that pendant, and you want to learn more of it. You know what I mean? And it's like there's a more crazier side to it. But I thought that was one of the coolest parts about her character. I was like, oh, this is it's pretty damn good. So
Dude,
I thought that was wonderful.
FromSoft has a way with their boss fights for sure, and
Oh yeah,
giving lore to their bosses. So, um, Bloodborne kicked my ass when it came out in 2015. Still today kicks my ass. But Elden Ring, I was on that hype train, and I was able to beat that game. So,
oh yeah, platinum that game, platinum all of them, pretty
oh
much.
nice, okay.
Sold them.
Got to get the platinum for all the Souls games, for all the FromSofts.
Well, I'm missing two.
Gotcha. Which ones are you missing?
Well, technically, no, I'm missing three. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. So I gotta
Got to
do
get those
those.
going.
Yeah,
Right
but
on.
the Neos, all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have
went
a
through
friend
those.
who gets all the platinums for those games. I don't know how everyone does it. That's a lot of work.
It's fun, man. Time consuming, but fun.
Absolutely. Right on. All right. So we'll jump right into number 4 from you, good sir.
Number 4, I'm gonna say God of War 3 versus Hercules.
Okay. Awesome.
But now that right there felt personal. That was one of the coolest boss battles of all time in my honest opinion because it was just so dope how it went. It goes from 0 to 60 relatively quick. And what I loved about it as well is not just the visual, especially like when you get like to the third phase of the fight where he lifts the actual arena and you're falling off the platform. That visual still sticks with me to this day. But of course, you can't forget the fact that you literally bash his face in into nothing.
Yes.
So it's like that stuff is like, dude, that's just like, yeah. I feel like games nowadays, and I talked about this especially going into God of War 20, going into Ragnarok. I feel like there is, even though we got this new artistic, well, not artistic, but we have this new narrative type of way they're doing it, like where it's more sympathetic with Kratos versus how we did before. I feel like games in general kind of are losing that edge, you know what I mean, to like really shock you, go over the top. But that's where God of War 3 would rank for me.
And it's funny to bring that up too, because the last Versus podcast I did with Michael Santiago, he had talked about God of War 3 with the Zeus fight. And similar
Yep.
to how you just have to sit there and you have to keep pressing square and you're just punching Zeus's face in and just
Yep.
beating him up. So, yeah, I definitely feel where you're coming from. God of War 3 is just incredible. All three of those games back then were fantastic. Hack and slash, man. Can't go wrong with those kind of games.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong.
Although God of War 2018, great game, fantastic game.
Oh
But
yeah, absolutely.
for God of War 3, those boss fights, those were something for sure. Right on. All right. What are we on? We're on number 3 now. Yes.
I'm gonna have to say for 3, this is going to God of War 2018.
Awesome.
I'm definitely gonna have to say the Queen Valkyrie.
Ooh. Okay.
The reason why Queen Valkyrie, for some reason, God of War 2018, I really felt like there wasn't really much of a challenge. You know what I mean? To the main bosses, I feel like they mostly were pushovers, even though, especially when you get the blades, and they
Yes.
felt like okay, they're not as that big of a threat. Balder, you fought Balder so many times. It was like Balder became kind of like Nemesis in the Resident Evil 3 remake. You know what I mean? It's like annoying, more of annoyance than a boss battle at that point. So I'm like, no. The Valkyries were always like a nice little, every time I saw a Valkyrie, I saw wings and they're like in that little shell standing there. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna get a challenge. This woman whooped my ass. She whooped my ass all over that damn arena. I was like, good lord, this woman knows not only her ability, but she knows all theirs. I'm like, okay, so she's literally all of them combined. I'm like, you know what? Yes, this is a challenge. When I finally beat her, I was like, yes, in your face. So I'm definitely gonna put her number 3.
Well, and then especially the challenge to get to the Queen
Yeah.
Valkyrie as well. So trying to get up there, he had to fight all the other Valkyries, which I never did. I will be honest. I don't even know if I fought one. To be honest, it was either I tried to fight one and just gave up, or I heard about them and I was like, "Cool, that's not for me. I'm gonna move on." But maybe right before Ragnarok comes out, I'll try to give the Valkyries try to fight them, see what happens there. And that
Oh yeah.
soundtrack for 2018 is just, that's a masterpiece soundtrack.
Yeah, Bear McCreary.
Yes, does great work. I can't wait for him to come back. He is back, right, for Ragnarok? Almost positive.
I I would think so. I would think so, right? Because Overture, I think it's the name of the song's Overture
Gotcha. Okay.
for his song. So yeah, I think he would be back. If not, I'd be surprised.
I'd,
Surprising.
I'd be a little upset. I mean, I'm sure they'll find whoever to make some good soundtrack, but I would like to have Bear back.
Yeah, I felt like he really put like a lot of intensity into that soundtrack with each one, especially with just the orchestra. It was crazy. So I don't know. Like he even did a good job with the Chucky remake soundtrack, which surprised me.
I didn't
So
even know he did that. To be honest, that's
yeah,
crazy.
he did the Chucky. He did that Chucky that la 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 la. That's Bear
That's him.
McCreary.
All right. Hell yeah. Because I figured out he did the Call of Duty Vanguard. I don't know if it was just the main theme or if it was the whole game, but he did that. Because every time I load into that game, I feel like I'm launching God of War. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, he blew up on the scene. Really good, really talented.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Now we jump into honorable mentions. I will let you go. We'll go 3 honorable mentions. You don't have to give too much backstory into them, or you can give all the backstory, however you want to go about that. But we'll go 3 honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions: Poseidon for God of War 3.
All right.
If you want to open up a game and start a tone for a game and set a standard, that's how you do it.
Yes.
His design, his whole set piece with the Titans, it's one of the most iconic things we've seen in video games.
That is
Really
true.
one of the greatest. So yeah, definitely Poseidon's up on there.
Awesome.
Honorable mention. Another honorable mention, I would say. Let's see. Honorable mentioned. So I don't want to make this too God of War so I'm gonna go jump more around. It's a lot of boss battles here. So I'm going off of difficulty, not necessarily just fun of fighting.
Gotcha.
Damn, that kind of brings me back to God of War again. God of War 3, when you kill Hermes and slice his feet off.
There you go.
That's Hermes. And of course, Ares from God of War 2.
Yes. Can't go wrong with the Ares fight.
Yeah. That's mine. Honorables.
Hey, I love it, man. Well, listen, we can make this a God of War special. That's all right. We love it.
Too good, man. Too
Listen,
good.
Ragnarok's on the horizon. Finally have a release date. You know, it's in the near future, just a couple of months away on a Wednesday for some reason. I know they said it was Odin's Wednesday or Odin's Day, whatever that means. I'm not quite sure, but we'll figure it out in time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right on. All right. Well, let's jump into number 2 for you.
Number 2, it goes to, so I don't know if you got to her in Elden Ring, but Melania.
That's my favorite boss fight in Elden Ring.
She literally whooped my ass throughout that entire fight. And it's crazy. I see people going around saying Elden Ring's easy. And I checked their little trophies. I'm like, yeah, I don't see a trophy for Melania.
Yep.
So either stop the cap or actually play the game. Because Melania, all your stats you got, if you think you got a hold on the game, you're doing that, don't sleep on this character. This character is OP. Like, it's crazy.
She'll beat your ass.
Insane. Oh yeah. So definitely Melania. She was surprised. She was the biggest surprise out that game. I was like, wow, they really saved the best for last. But the sad part was she wasn't really required to beat the game. She was an optional boss.
Right.
But it was like a gem to find her. You know what I mean? That she beat her and get her sword. I was like, okay, that's a boss.
Yep.
So yeah, number 2. She was close to being number 1 for me, but I'm going off for a little the heartstrings here for this last one.
For the last one, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she I remember getting to her and my friend had told me, he was like, oh, she's optional. So I almost didn't do it, but I kept hearing about her on Twitter. I didn't see the fight itself, but I kept seeing tweets pop up about it. And something just told me, like, Glenny, you got to do it. You got to go and fight her and see what it's all about. And
Yep.
that was the hardest boss for me. It took me a couple of days. I recorded 2 videos of myself, one of me being defeated after the first day of fighting her. And then I think 2 or 3 days later, once I finally beat her, I recorded myself just screaming. I got up, started running around, and I'm like, yes, like finally beat her, because she was so difficult. And definitely just a memorable fight. That dialogue sits in my head.
Yep.
And getting her armor, getting her sword is just, that's like, I wear that as a trophy. I wear her helmet, even though not great
Yep.
stats, but I wear that helmet to know that I did it. I did the damn thing.
I remember I beat her first phase. I'm like, yes, I finally beat her. This like,
Yep.
it's not over. I'm like, son of a bitch, another face. And I had no heals, no nothing. She did that dive bomb with the flower, and I was just instantly down. I was like,
Yep. I did the
I just
same
face
thing.
bomb. I just face bomb. I was so defeated. I was like, oh no. Oh no, I don't know. This one might take a second, and oh god.
Very worth it
So,
though. And I
well,
mean,
hell
what
yeah.
a
Cheers.
what a trip to get to her as well. I mean, like you said, it definitely like I almost wish she was required, because I wish everyone could experience that fight. But I guess it is nice to have that as an optional fight, and to be like, yeah, I did that, and to see people on the internet have discourse of like, oh, this game's easy, and then not fight her. Talk about how hard the game is, and they did fight her or whatever. So completely
Mhm.
understand that. But yes, Elden Ring, what a gem for 2022. What a
Oh, dude,
gem.
I hope it wins Game of the Year. I really do.
I,
It's that good.
I
It's
think
that
the
good
only
of a game.
competition really is God of War. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, like Cult of the
Horizon did
Lamb is very
good, but
good. Horizon.
it was good, but it was. I said this in a video, and I again, this is the internet. People go, "Oh, you're hating on the game." I'm like, no, because if you played the original and you went into this, you would know that it's pretty much more of the same,
Yep.
refined. That's it. It's got better machines for sure, better mechanics now, but it's the same game, and the story. I don't know if you know, it's shorter than the last one. It's significantly shorter. I
I
beat that
didn't
game
realize it, but it kind of makes sense. 'Cause I feel like I beat that game very quickly.
very quick, right? Like when you do the main quests, it's like even the side quests, they were trying to like do that thing where like you get like the green little icon that pops up. I'm like, these side quests are pretty quick. Once you open the map and you know where the machines are, you're done.
Yep.
Like fetch quests. So it's not really that long of a game anymore.
Right.
And hopefully with the, I mean, they're obviously gonna make one more. They're gonna end it more likely with part 3, because I don't think they can push Horizon past 3 after
Yeah, I
this
don't.
point. So
Hey, it'd be fitting for Gorilla. They have three kill. Well, I guess 4 kill
yeah,
zones. I like to forget about Shadowfall sometimes, but they do have four
yeah,
four kill zones.
that was crazy too. Shadowfall was when we first saw it. I was like, damn, holy hell! Because I remember when we were getting into PS4 discussion, everybody was like, oh, well, the next gen leap's gonna be small compared to the PS3, and then we saw it, was like,
Yep.
whoa, it looks really, really good. And we were all talking about that for months and months, and it still looks good. So pretty game.
Very
But
pretty.
I can only imagine how it's gonna look on PS5 when we get into the new one after they leave Horizon or whatever they're gonna do. But I do think Killzone does come out first. We'll probably get Killzone before we get Horizon 3. Like, they're probably gonna take a break on Horizon, maybe.
I mean, they're cursed, right? You
Yeah.
had Zero Dawn come out right as Breath of the Wild
Yeah.
was coming out, and now you have Forbidden West coming out right as Elden Ring comes out. What the hell is going on over there?
Hey, man. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but people are like, oh, Elden Ring didn't kill it, or well, I'm like,
Did
Sony won
something.
Ghosts. Sony won Ghosts. This is a game that we all knew Sony was going to talk about financials on. Sony got quiet on that one. They ain't say nothing. So it's pretty obvious who won. Who won who was the juggernaut in that thing? It was
Well,
the most anticipated game.
now we have
Wow.
fall with God of War, and everything is being delayed to next year. So now it's like, what is
God of
everyone?
War's got a straight shot.
Yep, they're all open right now. I mean, obviously you have your Call of Duty and your other sports titles coming out in the next couple weeks, or I guess Madden's tomorrow, and then couple months for the other ones. But other than that, it's all God of War for fall, all God of War. So, which is
We got
awesome,
Spider-Man for next year. So
dude.
a lot of stuff to look forward to. I can't wait.
I really hope we see that for the Disney Marvel games presentation September 9th, I believe that's when that is, with Blessing Jr. hosting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we see some Spider-Man. I'd like to see Wolverine, but I think it's still too early. Maybe another CGI trailer of some sorts, just letting us know that it is still happening. But other than that, I'm not too sure. Not too sure what they have rolled up their sleeves. But Spider-Man 2, give me another trailer, please. Need more Spidey.
Yeah, as you won.
Right.
The Venom reveal was enough to get me hyped for anything, but still, I'm like, here we go. Y'all playing games at this point. We know Craven's in this. I know that voice. That's Craven.
Mm-hmm.
So Rafe's gonna be in this, aka Yuri. So
Right.
it's a lot of characters to look forward to. A lot of,
Absolutely.
I don't think Vulture's coming back because of his condition, but maybe Scorpion, maybe Rhino for sure. Throwing him in there.
I'm sure we'll see
Taskmasker, maybe not.
maybe another side thing, just like
Yeah.
the first one, and then maybe we'll see like a
Screwball,
cutscene or
definitely.
two. Ah, yes,
Yes,
gotta
she'll be
have
back.
gotta have Screwball back, and then maybe Kingpin, maybe Doc Ock in a cutscene or something. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely Doc Ock. I can see that. And Kingpin, maybe some twists. Kingpin gets him out of prison. I don't know.
Right.
I
Who
don't
knows
know.
what they got in store.
It's gonna be interesting.
Love the Insomniac team. They're doing Lord's work over there for sure. Pumping out games.
They won my heart when I saw the Wolverine reveal. I was like,
Yes.
okay, let's go. I'm down. Let's do this.
A part of me really wanted Daredevil after Spider-Man, but I'm a huge Wolverine fan, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take Wolverine as well. And
I'll take the X-Men in your vision for sure.
Right? And I'm sure at some point someone will make some kind of Daredevil game. I mean, obviously Marvel
Or Iron Man or something, yeah. Or Captain America. Really, I wanted Captain America to have his own standalone game.
It's been a while since that last one, and that last one wasn't terrible, but it still wasn't great.
What's the quality?
Exactly, yeah. Now we have superhero games that got some quality under them, so hopefully we'll see some more. But right on, awesome. Well, let's jump into your final boss fight, number 1, good sir.
This one right here is the one that sold me on Bloodborne. It's the one that sold me on the Souls S vibe, and it made me appreciate it that much more. As soon as I saw the cutscene for this, I was so like, wow, this looks so badass. And then, I'm fighting the guy, he transforms into a werewolf. But then I started to piece stuff together. Like early on, where this little kid was like, hey, have you seen my mother? Have you seen my mother? She probably is around in this area. And then I started piecing together. I'm like, wait, this is that area. Then I look around and I find a dead body of this woman. And there's a little jukebox or whatever she had. And this right here ended up being a tool to use against this boss. I'm talking about Father Gascon from Bloodborne. Father Gascon set the tone for how good that game was going to be, especially as you progress. A lot of people might say the King of Canehurst. Some people might say, the Bloodstarved Beast. That would honestly be mine as well. But honestly, if I really was to be a realist, it's Father Gascon. Father Gascon is the one who set the tone. He's the one that made me go, you know what? I'm committing to this game. I don't care if I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm going to learn this game. And I learned this game. I was like, that had to be one of the best investments I ever did. It was so good. And it made me really appreciate a genre that not many people were in. And it made me really appreciate, like, there's a game out here. Like, what I mean? There's a set team out here who's making games for us who want that challenge. I felt like we were losing that. It's kind of like platformers back in the day. Right? Yes. Platformers were really like, it was like, listen, you either in it to win it type of thing, especially when you look at Crash Bandicoot back in the day. Crash Bandicoot was tough back in the day. You know what I mean? Now, I could do it in my sleep, especially with the remakes and the remastered or the remakes of the game, the Insane Trilogy. And I'm going through part 4 right now, but it's like, dude, you just don't, you have a new level of appreciation for something when you see it again, you know what I mean? And really brought back. But in this case, it's like, yeah, that character made me go, you know what? I'm at home, you know what I mean? I have another home to go to. So this is where I'm at. So yeah, Father Gascon.
And you mentioned, FromSoft making these games that are difficult, and for for us, right, that want that kind of difficult game, because obviously nowadays, who knows, what kind of difficulty you're going to get. And FromSoft has never introduced any kind of difficulty settings. It is just, here's our game, here's how it should be played. Although people on Twitter will do what they do best and complain, oh, you're using a magic build, you're not playing the game right. And it's like, okay, well, play the game how you want to play it, but let's just all enjoy what FromSoft has created, So, and I remember Bloodborne just being that game. I mean, obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, FromSoft, Armored Core back in the day, Ninja Blade in 2009. I didn't know that until I was doing research on my Elden Ring review. Had no idea that they made Ninja Blade, and now it makes sense because young Glenn was trying to play that game on the 360, and it was horrible. I had no idea what the hell I was doing and could not make it past that game. So it makes sense that that developer would then go on to do Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and then Bloodborne. Bloodborne was that one that I feel like, everyone already kind of was starting to vibe with the Souls series and FromSoft, but I feel like Bloodborne was really the one that took anyone that was unsure about FromSoft and really gave them that extra
made that
push.
bridge, and a lot of people say it's the easier Souls game. In a way, it is. It's kind of like the introduction type of Souls-esque game. It gives you the basics, you know what I mean? But it's like more bare bones, I guess you can say, to lock it. But that's what I loved about it, And then when you get to the other Souls games, you're like, damn, this is another ball game by itself. But it's like, I'm already prepared for this mentally. And I go and
right.
That's how it was when we got the PS5. One of the main things that sold me on PS5 is when we saw Demon Souls. I'm like, yes, I'm there day one. Yes, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yes, I'm there day one. Yes, you know what I mean? I'm there. But yeah, absolutely. I'm very grateful for it, for sure. And Elden Ring being another icing on the cake. It's a good time to be a Souls fan. Yeah.
They are on a roll right now. And then obviously Sekiro in between Bloodborne and
Sekiro. That's another underrated gem. Yeah.
That game is kicking my ass. I'm still trying to make it through my first playthrough right now, and it's tough, but I love the combat. It's a lot of fun.
The thing about that game compared to Souls, you gotta treat it like a dance. Everybody has a rhythm. So like some bosses, you gotta take note of how many strikes they make and whatnot. So it's a dance. So I remember it's funny, I was listening to that Kill Bill. You know that song that plays when Uma fights I God, what's her name? God, what's her name? I don't forget her name. Chick who plays Oren from Charlie's Angels.
Oh man. I know who you're talking about, but yeah, now.
Oh God, I forget. How the hell I forget her name? Lucy Liu. Yeah, so when you're that, like, you know what I mean? It's like that beat, you get that beat. It's like, yeah, it's basically,
start to feel like yourself.
You start feeling that. You're like, okay, getting the hang of that beat. Like, oh man, cool.
The pairing is just so fun, so smooth, so good. I love it.
Yeah, I do hope that we get a sequel to that. We are getting a game called Wolong, I think it's called. Wolong. It's a new game, so that's gonna be interesting. But also you got Wukong Black Myths, another, so a lot of cool stuff.
A lot of good stuff looking forward to. Right on. Awesome. So those are BitCloud Gaming's top 5 boss fights and honorable mentions. Before we head out, I am going to ask just another question. What is your most anticipated game for 2023? So far as we know, what is 2023?
2023?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got Resident Evil 4 remake, which I've been asking for God knows how long. That game looks so good. You got Dead Space remake. My prayers have been answered. We're getting that. But honestly, just because I am just a big Spider-Man fan, Spider-Man 3 wins unanimously. Just for that, because of what the magic they did, what Insomnia did with 2018. I've been asking for a Spider-Man game of that caliber since I was a kid. You fighting Doc Ock on the side of the building, and you're going down fighting and stuff like that. It's like, dude, we're getting what we're seeing in the films right in front of us in game form, and it's 5 times better. It's a lot more exciting. And what I loved about it is that they had fun with it. You know, they had their own custom suit. You know, that advanced prototype suit that he had from Doc Ock. I'm like, dude, that is awesome.
Sick.
That is brilliant how they did this. Even with the one that Doc Ock gives you at the beginning. You know, I'm talking about the advanced suit. Like that suit, I was like, dude, that suit grew on me. I was like, that is really cool. I dig this. Like, I like that. And we now see his new version of that in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like, it looks more refined. It's Peter's version now. It's not the Doc Ock version of it. So, yeah, I'll have to say that is. And you got Miles also being a part of it. It's gonna be a great game, man. Possibly Green Goblin.
Do you think the game will be co-op, or do you want the game to be co-op?
There was already a report going around that 2018 was going to have some multiplayer co-op stuff in there. Makes sense by the way they did the gameplay in that, like where they cut from Peter to Miles to Mary Jane.
Right.
Honestly, I don't want it to have it because I feel like that'll kind of interfere with a lot of things. I mean, it'll be cool to have co-op, play with a friend, but I can already see complications with that. I don't want that to mess with the core game. It would be cool, but I don't want that in there. Nah.
I'm in the same boat as you. I follow a couple of YouTubers that talk about like Marvel and DC content for games, and a few of them are like,
Evan
co-op.
Falarka does that a lot. He covers a lot of it. He's part of this. He's actually in the game. Spidey Squad. You ever seen that? The little pin.
I haven't. No.
Oh, he's in the game. He's leader of the Spidey Squad. That he's literally in the game, and Evan was like so hyped for me. And did like a full stream talking about part 2 and what was on, and everybody was like, "Yeah, you guys need to do this more often." I'm like, I would love to, but the thing is, not a lot to go off of a Spider-Man 2. You know what I mean? So now we're going to Wolverine. It's like, hey, it's a good time to be a Marvel fan. I just put it like that. It's a great time. She-Hulk just dropped its episode. It was
Very
actually
fun.
not that bad. It was actually not bad.
Yeah.
A lot of people were giving it flack, saying I was going to look bad. I'm like, I will admit the CGI wasn't good in the reveals, but I mean, they fixed all that in the show, so it looked fine. It's not bad. It's a comedy, so I can see a lot of good things. And we got Daredevil making his debut in that, so that's gonna be even more cool.
I can't wait. I've been rewatching the Daredevil series from Netflix this past 2 weeks, and it's a great show. And now he's gonna be in the MCU finally, so yeah, I can't wait. The Marvel fans are eating for years, for years to come, for sure. For gaming side,
I'm still satisfied from the amazing Spider-Man movie that we got. You know, the best Spider-Man film period that we have forgotten, and that was No Way Home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? No Way Home literally beat a movie that I thought was untouchable in the Spider-Man license, and that was Spider-Man 2. I thought Spider-Man 2 would never be touched, and then here you got Toby, you got Andrew, you're righting the wrongs, you're fixing characters, you're giving them reboots all in one, and you're showing just how great. What I loved about it too, Andrew Garfield, I actually thought Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man.
I agree.
He just was plagued with a terrible script and a terrible director.
Yep.
When you have those things playing against you, that can make anybody's, no matter how good he is, terrible. You know what I mean? I'm glad he got that second chance to prove that he is a good Spider-Man, and they delivered on every single note. Even they had that conversation when they were doing the points. Hey, you're Peter. Oh, wait, like or whatever they were talking about. Like, hey, their battles.
Right.
And then, like, it's like, Andrew's like, or I'm not that good of a Spider-Man. He's like, no, you're amazing. I'm like, oh, I see what you did there.
Yes.
So. Yeah, that's where I do think, that's one of the best films ever. And then you got Robert Pattinson shocking the world as Batman.
Yep.
Batman was fantastic. I was like, whoa, okay, this works. Very grounded Batman. Very grounded. Now, it's a little too grounded because, people talking about Mr. Freeze. I don't know how that's going to work with this particular Batman. You know what I mean? A little too grounded. But, they did enough to where it's like, you know what? Believable. So that's what comes down to, a right director, a right mindset, and whatnot. And we also got Joker too.
Yeah, that's
gonna be that's gonna be a gem too. So it's a lot of films to look out for. Ironheart, interesting how that's gonna play out with Iron Man now going for it.
I'm excited to see her in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Very excited
Yeah,
to see
Wakanda,
how they
Wakanda
handle
forever.
that. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that movie too. I'm holding out hope that Killmonger comes back and is our Black Panther, but I guess we'll see.
From what we're seeing here, I don't think that's going to be the case. They're probably going to go with the comic where Shuri is a Black Panther, and everybody just honors her because she's been through a lot.
Right,
She lost her father, now she lost her brother
brother. Yep.
twice in a sense. You think about he lost him twice. Because remember was near death in Black Panther the movie. After ritual combat. So then she lost him twice, and he had to revive him. But he's gone. But when I saw that trailer, I got emotional. I was like, damn, this feels like legit a tribute, and it's gonna be a good film. So
I feel like that movie's gonna hit real hard.
yeah. I do think though, and that's the thing about the MCU, and I hoped they were gonna fix that, but it kind of feels like they kind of didn't. But they are, but they kind of not. They them killing off villains too soon. Killmonger should have never been killed. Period.
Yeah.
Never, because that's one of the best villains they had ever. Most relatable and realistic, and actually was in a weird way, and many people call him a hero.
Yeah.
Because of his philosophy and when he went through, it's like, yeah, he's not fighting for himself; he's fighting for us. Beautiful. I love that about Killmonger. He redeemed himself, but you never know. Keep hope alive. You never know how they go about these things, especially with the MCU going into the multiverse,
which is gonna be insane. These next few years are going to be just wild for the MCU, and I cannot wait.
Fantastic. Like, I would love to see Iron Man, but we didn't get to see it. They cut him off from Multiverse of Madness, where because you see the Ultron bots, the Ultron Stigma type of protocol, which was going to be Tony's version of armor around the world. We seen an idea of it with that, but we never saw Iron Man. So.
Right.
It's possible, man. It's very, very possible.
There. And Secret War's coming out, obviously.
Secret Wars.
If Sony doesn't give us a live action Miles with Secret Wars, if they don't let Marvel partner up for that, I'm going to be pretty upset.
I think they are. That's what Tom Holland wants. He wants to share the spotlight. Tom Holland's like the best thing to happen to Sony when it comes to Spider-Man. He really is. He's like the best thing. And I think it'd be smart to take him up on his wish and go, you know what? Here's Miles. Now let's introduce Peter to Miles. You got that dynamic, and you can really go because even No Way Home has similarities to the 2018 game. Like his apartment, it looks shot for shot the same as the apartment at the start of Spider-Man 2018. So I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. And I love the new logo. The logo is inspired by Toby's and Andrew's. His new logo, the one he made from scratch, the new one. The refined one. I'm like, you know what? You guys established him as his own Spider-Man. Thank God. He's not in Iron Man's shadow. Yeah, they used to call him Iron Boy Jr. He's not in that. They gave him his own identity. He's his own man. He's now matured. I love that. And I didn't have no problem with the Iron Man thing. I was like, but a lot of people are like, well, he's in the shadow. I'm like, guys, he's a kid. He doesn't have resources like Tony Stark.
Right.
Like when Tony gave him the suit, he literally said, yeah, you're rocking around in a $500 million suit. I'm like, excuse me? $500 million suit? You gave that to a kid? Good Lord,
He was using a hoodie and like a little ski mask.
And it was cool. Like they made that even look good when he fought the Vulture. Again, another character. I thought Vulture would not work in films. You get Michael Keaton, you give a badass, high-tech, thief-like perspective to it. That's one of the best looking adaptations of a villain I've ever seen. I loved Vulture. I was like, wow, he is menacing and badass at the same time. I love that. So,
that scene when he's taking Peter to the dance and he's talking to him. Oh,
gives him that pep talk, that little pep talk. Like, I know who you are. Don't interfere in my business. I'm gonna let you live. You say my daughter, but you guys have fun, all right? He's like, okay. Michael Keaton is a gem. Will always be a gem. Always be a gem. And of course, Thanos. I think Thanos is like the chef's kiss to end the last phase we went through. It was just how can you not love Josh Brolin in that performance?
So good.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
that dude carried it. Dude carried it so well.
And for them to have Infinity War be like his movie and kind of half a Thor's movie, I mean, just so good to give the
Yeah,
villain some screen time and make it his story to see why, why is he doing this. And Marvel, I don't know, man, Marvel just, they're doing the damn thing and I love it. Younger
yeah.
me would be so hyped to see where
It
we're
is,
going.
they are hitting different now because everything is in TV show form, which I was a little iffy on. You know what I mean? I really was. I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's going to work. But it's like, dude, these are movie quality shows.
Right.
And they're actually really, really well, and the Captain, or I'm sorry, not the Winter Soldier and Falcon show.
Damn good.
That surprised me. That surprised me how well I was liking that. But that also sets up some side things, because now you have a rogue like super soldier who's a murderer,
Yep.
who's now, I guess, discharged as Captain America. I'm guessing. I don't know how that's going to play in the films, but got him. But they're doing a good job of setting up characters. Even What If. The What If is basically the multiverse take. So that's our introduction to the multiverse even further. Like Captain Carter making her debut, which was a nice little reveal.
My favorite. My favorite. I got a little Captain
really
Carter
cool.
figure right up there, right behind
There
me.
you go. I got emotional when I saw Professor X. They had the classic chair. I'm like,
Yep.
why couldn't we get this in the original cast? Why couldn't we get Hugh Jackman in the orange cowl like we saw at the end of Wolverine? Remember that, the Wolverine? The little briefcase, the little prototype mask thing. Why couldn't we see stuff like this? I'm like, I can't get like again. They did Cyclops bad in the original. I expect Cyclops to be a beast in the MCU. That's how he was in the comics. It's gonna be a badass. Wolverine, I don't know who they're casting as Wolverine, but I don't think it's Hugh Jackman.
Probably not.
Yeah,
maybe for Secret Wars if they do something there to kind of have
like a fan service.
Yeah,
maybe like a fan service. They could possibilities are definitely there, but I think it's going to be more accurate to the comics. They're probably gonna get somebody who's not 6'3", 6, not no crazy tall guy. They're gonna get somebody who's actually at the height of Wolverine, because Wolverine's not a tall guy. He's
right.
Like 5'4", 5'5", something like that, and he's this guy anger management problems. That's what he's known for. He's a pissed off guy, but yeah, I don't think so. Because I remember Famke Janssen, who played Jean Grey, wants to come back and play Jean again. I'm like, yeah, your time's over. I don't think they're gonna call anybody emoji. I don't even think they're gonna call Halle Berry. No, I want them to recast everybody.
Yeah, recast.
Because I thought Angela Bassett should have been Storm a long time ago.
Yeah. Be a good cast.
So, give him a new cast.
And I mean, Marvel, Kevin Feige knows what he's doing when he's hiring people. I mean, like, Eternals, for whatever, that movie did, whatever. But Harry Styles as Star Fox, I mean, what the hell? It works fantastic. It's perfect. Like, what?
Bradley Cooper as Rocket. I mean,
perfect.
Vin Diesel as Groot. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I feel like they haven't missed, and I don't know if they will miss with casting. I mean, even recently with Christian Bale as Gore. I wish we had more Gore time.
Yeah, that was. I felt he got snubbed just
I agree.
A tad bit. Jane Foster as the Mighty Thor.
Yep.
She did good. Natalie did good. I thought Natalie was pretty good. Now, do I agree with what they did with Natalie? No, I find that to be stupid. Again, that's adding to the problem. What's going on with the MCU with characters getting introduced, and brought back and whatnot, and then we're just gonna take them out or push them off the side. Even with Lady Sif, I thought Lady Sif was long forgot. You remember her, Sif?
Yep.
I think it was Lady Sif in the Warriors 3. Warriors 3 were wiped out by Hela. So it's just Sif, but now they got Sif. I guess Sif is just not. She's back in the gutter at this point, armless.
Yep.
So, I don't know. So there's that.
The MCU is looking bright. that's for sure. Hopefully, we'll see what comes. I'm pretty sure. What is it? Next month?
Kingpin,
Disney Plus Day, right?
Daredevil. Oh yeah, and especially when we get into Doom. I really think that's going to be the mastermind for this phase. If it's not the mastermind, it's Galactus, but I don't think they'll do Galactus. I think it's Dr. Doom. You want somebody very very articulate and very cunning Doctor Doom is literally the most. He's literally the biggest villain of all time. You think about it.
Oh,
This dude
absolutely.
had both the Infinity Gauntlets.
Yep.
He had both. So
Yeah, I really hope they do Doom justice. Let him kind of be the main bad for a little bit, and then we'll get to Galactus eventually. We know he's got to be out there. We know we're gonna get him at some point, but I really hope it's Doom for a little while. Doom and King. I need more King action. So I'm excited to see. Everyone was talking about that Ant-Man trailer from Comic-Con, so I'm excited to see when we get that, because Jonathan Majors, great actor and a great pick for King, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Alrighty, guys. Well, that was Versus and a little bit of MCU talk, which, I mean, I love it. I love talking about Marvel. I love talking about comics. DC's doing their thing. Hopefully someday.
Hopefully they get better. Ezra Miller, all these guys. Hopefully get better.
I hope.
Aquaman as well, because Aquaman was great. I hope Aquaman
Same
gets stuff situated after this whole, So
hopefully we'll see what happens. But yes, if you guys want more from BitCloud Gaming, I will have all of his links in the description below, which will be Twitter, his YouTube channel, all of his podcast work. Once again, thank you so much, BitCloud, for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to get to meet new people and talk about video games and any other topics that come to mind.
No problem, man. Anytime. They shot me.
Of course. And we will see you guys on the next episode. Remember to be kind, wash your hands, and wash your ass. And I'll see you guys later.